If you've ever felt that immense, heavy weight of being a highly sensitive, deep feeler, well, this one is absolutely for you. There is this unspoken code, a set of intrinsic practices that literally no one teaches you, but somehow your soul just seems to know them. If you've ever felt totally disconnected from the chaotic, blinding frequency of the everyday world, you are exactly in the right place. Today we're going to uncover that unwritten code and explore a truly incredible evolution.
For the longest time, you probably called yourself a lone wolf, right? Highly sensitive, deeply intuitive, fiercely carving your own path, but also constantly absorbing the overwhelming world around you. Empathy probably felt a lot less like a gift and more like a heavy burden. But hey, we aren't focusing on that wounded past today. We are looking at your evolution. Think of it more like a solitary jaguar, a massive shift into a majestic, truly sovereign archetype.
So, what exactly have you become? You're an Alchempath. You are no longer that bleeding empath endlessly drained by energy vampires. You're an empowered being who has achieved something pretty incredible. You have turned your empathy completely inside out. You've taken all of that extreme emotional receptivity and converted it straight into internal power. Now you actually thrive in your own sovereign solitude.
And that evolution, turning your empathy inside out, is absolutely crucial. The shift from a totally drained empath to a powerful alchempath requires closing yourself off to the toxic manipulation and that massive nervous system overload of the outside world. You just stop being a sponge for everyone else's pain. Instead, you reclaim that immense receptive capacity entirely for yourself.
Because when you finally close those doors to external energy drains, you don't just shut down. No way. You actually burst open. You take that deep emotional capacity and throw wide open the vast, beautiful expanses within your own mind. It's like this cosmic burst of internal alchemy, where you've literally become a universe unto yourself.
And that brings us right to Rule 1, the Alchemy of Silence. To actually live as an alchempath, we have to radically redefine what silence means to us. Think about it. In the past, your old silence was probably just a trauma response, right? A defensive shield you used to hide from a world that was just too loud and overwhelming. But your true silence, as an alchempath, it is entirely different. It's a completely active state. It's this absolute, unwavering concentration of your own will, acting as a powerful anchor right into the core of your essence.
You carry this impenetrable, rock-solid internal silence right inside you, and it cuts straight through all the blinding white noise of society. While frantic emotions and loud, chaotic demands disorient everyone else, you remain perfectly centered. That inner quiet becomes your ultimate compass. It helps you navigate your sovereign path straight through the illusions of the external world.
Okay, moving on to Rule 2, the hunter for power. Now, let's be clear, this is absolutely not about having power over other people. That's just a total ego trap. This is about actively cultivating your own internal psychic power. The Alchempath is a silent, intense stalker of reality.
It's like having a razor-sharp needle of pure attention. While the rest of the world is completely, endlessly distracted by the noise, you simply observe. You use that laser-focused attention to pierce straight through the fabric of perceived reality to see what is actually there beneath the surface.
So here's the actual alchemy of attention. First, you stalk reality silently. Next, you surgically extract the hidden essence of a situation, just the pure truth, totally leaving behind the heavy, toxic emotions of the crowd. And finally, pulling that truth inward acts as a catalyst. It instantly ignites fresh alchemical energy within you. You are literally turning your observation into fuel. Moving deeper into the code, we hit Rule 3, the transformation of trust. Look, as a deep feeler, placing your trust in the external world almost certainly led to some deep heartbreak and betrayal in the past. We've all been there.
So how do we actually heal that? Well, it happens in 3 distinct steps. Step 1 was the wound, trusting others and getting burned. Step 2 is the healing phase, where you pull that trust back to your everyday self and establish some solid boundaries. But Step 3 is where the Alchempath truly lives. It's bypassing the ego entirely to anchor your absolute trust into your deepest essence. And when your trust is locked into that transcendent, immortal core, something magical happens. Fear completely dissolves. You literally become unstoppable. Because your ultimate allegiance is strictly to your own deep truth, you can interact with absolutely anyone, even the untrustworthy, knowing without a shadow of a doubt that your core always has your back. Which naturally leads right into Rule 4, freedom from within. This is your absolute refusal to conform to societal expectations. A sovereign being is guided purely by intuition. You no longer force connections or say yes just to be nice. If something doesn't align with your soul, you just walk away. No justification needed whatsoever.
Fierce solitude doesn't equal lonely. Let that sink in for a second. It's so vital to understand the difference here. If you're struggling with profound loneliness, you are likely still healing that old wound. But the Alchempath no longer uses isolation as a defensive trauma response. Instead, our fierce solitude becomes our absolute, unshakable source of strength.
As you sit calmly, fully bathed in your own energy, you realize you just don't need that external validation anymore. You receive your confirmation straight from the cosmos and your own deepest essence. You can walk away from shallow, energy-draining dynamics without a single shred of guilt, deeply knowing that the universe automatically aligns with your sovereign power.
And finally, the last unspoken rule, the alchemy of true connection. Because we thrive so well in solitude, we have to completely redefine how we approach intimacy. Surface-level ties, they don't even register for us. A connection is only real if someone can reach way past the mundane to touch your deepest core.
When two deep essences actually touch, when those intricate, profound layers intertwine, the relationship becomes incredibly holistic. The normal, everyday routines of life merge seamlessly with the vast, transcendent layers of the psyche. It happens on an energetic level that honestly, most of the world will never fully comprehend.
But, and this is a big but, there's a vital condition to this kind of union: absolute freedom and zero clinging. This right here is the beautiful paradox of the Alchempath's love, because there are no invisible cages of obligation, no sense of energetic ownership. The relationship is vastly more authentic. You are deeply stable precisely because you retain the absolute freedom to let go or to choose each other every single day. So we've covered the whole journey, from that overwhelmed lone wolf to an empowered creator. We talked about the alchemy of silence, stalking reality for power, shifting trust entirely to your deepest essence, and that incredible paradox of connection through absolute freedom. So I have to ask you, which of these unwritten rules really hit home for you the hardest? Take a moment to just reflect on that.
We might walk through this world in fierce, quiet solitude, but we are never truly separate. The moment our paths cross, we instantly recognize each other's frequency. It's undeniable. So keep cultivating that internal power. Trust your deepest essence implicitly, and ask yourself, how will you use your alchemical attention to shape your reality tomorrow? Until next time, stay sovereign.